Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Thiaan Lotter. I'm with Innovations or Preferred Solutions. Um, you might know us by that name. And today we're going to have a quick look at Business Central and the modern workplace. Perhaps you can just give me an indication, either via the chat or the Q&A, that you can hear me okay. I will switch off my video in a second so you don't have to look at my face all the time. Today's meeting will be 30 minutes. I'm going to really strictly stick to the time limit. Any questions, any follow-up information, please feel free to reach out to us. Alicia is in the meeting, or myself via email or via Teams. We are very happy to answer your questions and follow up afterwards. We really want to keep these tea break sessions to 30 minutes. So, and I want to elicit lots of questions, but we're not going to necessarily address them today. If we have some extra time left in the end, then I would be very happy to address them. If not, we will get back to you separately after the meeting to answer any questions. We're specifically going to look at Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central and what we call the modern workplace. And what the modern workplace looks like. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get cracking. By the way, this meeting is being recorded. I hope everybody's okay with that. So let's get going. So Microsoft has given us this new platform called Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, which is not really new. It's really an ERP that's been around, or accounting financial system that's been around in the market for 20, maybe even 30 years. But they have rebuilt that and refitted it to the cloud in a way that is extremely powerful, because we don't have the bugs of new systems and the pains that come around with that. And we also have the pros of all the new platform, cloud, Microsoft's infrastructure. We're going to have a look at that today. What we found is what research shows is that these days businesses need to adapt and change very quickly to not only the market. So for example, COVID changed everything from direct business to internet businesses in a matter of weeks. And then after COVID, we could change back again, and we found that business and everything works differently. There's a hybrid. People are a lot more accepting to cloud and nomad type of work. We've got new business models, the new globe, and so forth. 20% of SMBs will cease operations by 2025 because they can't pivot fast enough to digitize their operations. And these days, a lot of employees want to be able to work from stay at home or multiple locations, and we expect to be able to access data and information from anywhere. If you're on a financial accounting system, planning systems, and you can't get your information, these days from your phone, it's kind of an oddity. So we find that when we as innovations and preferred solutions went to the market to find a new system that can fit these asks, we found that having manual systems, having a lot of users that have to do few things, so as to not being able to get to a lot of information, but just one user has to manage inventory, for example, and go through spreadsheets and spreadsheets and spreadsheets that they have to keep up manually for planning, are big problems and big risks for businesses, and makes it difficult for a business to change. And if it's difficult to change, it's difficult to keep up with demand and with competition, and that leads to issues with the business and profit margins. The employees are frustrated, and also it's harder to attract interesting employees. So what we found is from our customers that ran these projects and that run Business Central is that we want to accommodate rapid change and have a system that can run from anywhere, and that can also very simply and easily track not just financial transactions but also operations, capacity in warehouse, or movement of stock, or interactions with vendors, interactions with customers, from a customer and vendor relationship management. And we've moved away from being okay in running these things in Excel. Certain things in Excel, certain things in the system is no longer necessary. Within Business Central, we get one system that's accessible from anywhere, that allows us, and we'll look at some case studies a bit later, that showcases where customers could actually get to a single version of the truth of every interaction, whether it's a purchase for a sale, and the interactions with the vendor and the interaction with the customer at the same place. Obviously, this is just a quick screenshot of what the system looks like. So you can see Business Central obviously has different roles and different role centers. And here we have a screen, and we've got things like we call queues, and those are custom to every user. And you can see like certain targets and KPIs with indicators on how I'm performing. These things are per user base, per role base. You can see that this user can quickly see at a glance what are my ongoing sales, what are my ongoing purchases, and which purchases are due or overdue, so that I can intervene and interact. And I can also see the same thing. This is our business management role center, so I can see what payments do I have to go process, what is my collection days, just certain KPIs, all in one screen. And Business Central allows us this per role, so that if you are looking from a financial management point of view, you'll see a screen similar to what I just showed you. Obviously, sales and service management and supply chain operations and project management will have very different screens. Project management will need to know what's under and over budgets on certain projects, and what project deliverables are due today, what project deliverables are overdue, what projects can we invoice, what's unrealized revenue on a project, and so forth, unrealized cost on a project. And within Business Central, which has been named the best ERP system in 2024 by Forbes, and is being used by over 30,000 businesses already. It's important to realize that, like I said earlier, it's not a new system. It's mature. It's got functionality across what most businesses will need, including what we will refer to as that final mile. And oftentimes, especially if you're currently using, well, it doesn't really matter what system you're using at the moment. You probably had to warp your business to fit the system, and that's good because it helps keep costs down. But in certain instances, it leaves us stuck in Excel to do certain things. With Business Central, it allows us to specifically talk to requirements, module for module. By the way, all of these features are included in the core product. You don't have to buy add-on modules, like with a lot of competitors. You pay a monthly license, and includes all the features. It makes it a very, very cost-effective across the board. And it also makes it easier to adapt, because you don't have to worry about budget. Now you have to buy and set up, configure. You can just go, and we'll look at this a bit later as well. But we can literally go into onto YouTube, find information. How do we use supply planning, for example? You'll find YouTube videos, you'll find documents, so you can go as far as help yourself. And we're going to look at some cool new features in the modern systems, and specifically, obviously, Business Central that helps us to accept and onboard on an application. So what on the screen at the moment is capabilities, obviously, of Business Central, and obviously this you'll see that this is a very broad application, and the features cover everything from financial reporting, cash flow. Cash flow with AI is built in. Late payment prediction, bank account reconciliation is already done by AI. These are things where Microsoft, and this is another benefit of going with Microsoft, obviously, is they're quite advanced or far ahead in the AI field. And we've been using AI features for a couple of years already within Business Central. So now adding features to it, basically with every release, we're going to look at one just now. Yes, it's a fully cloud application, and unlike other cloud ERPs, cloud systems, and again, the modern workplace is something, like I said earlier, is almost a no-brainer. If we can't access it from anywhere, you know, that might certainly be the case at the moment. The systems we are on at the moment, but we're definitely not going to consider something that to replace our current systems that can't do cloud, that isn't accessible from a phone, that isn't accessible or integratable. These things have become synonymous with accounting or any application for that matter. So this is an important thing to note that from the market at the moment, from our research, from Microsoft research, obviously as well, there is no true competitor that also has the underlying infrastructure. So what you see in this product stack is we've got Business Central, which is then integrated to the Microsoft 365, so Teams, your Office apps, Excel, Word, SharePoint, OpenOffice. Then we have developer tools, which allows us to do that final mile of functionality. So that, we've done the most recent thing we've done was we have a customer that import 50 vendor price list for 17,000 stock items every month. And what we've done is we've just written an API that does that. So any Excel file goes into it and updates the vendor prices for him on his system. His selling prices are cost plus. So something that took one user a whole week to do plus overtime to get it done within a week, now is instant. And that is just because we have this final mile tools. And that's something that might not have been a big consideration when picking the system, because in the system, the big considerations were more around, operations and workflow around buying and selling. But an incidental gotcha of running Business Central, this customer saved one user more than 50 hours a month just on one simple integration. And just to put it into perspective, for us to do that work for him cost him 8,000 Rand. So for 8,000 Rand investment, he's saving 50 hours a week from one user. And it's one of his senior users, obviously, because he has to trust him to do the job right. Within Microsoft and within Business Central, within this product stack, we can even go further and use Power Platform to integrate workflows that falls outside of Business Central. So I don't know if you know this, but there's something called Power Apps, and Power Apps allow us to write apps that does something. So if you've interacted with us, with one of our consultants recently, you would have seen our job costing app, or job card app, I should say. And when they arrive at site or start a job card, you can then click and sign off that job card. That sends you an email. You can approve the job, and we automatically capture that job as completed and send you the invoice once it's approved by you. You don't have to log in, you as in our customer, do not have to log in anywhere. It's just run via Power Platform, which is a Power App, and there's a workflow in Power Automate that runs it, and it works via Outlook to send emails and interact with the system. The very bottom of this product stack is Microsoft Azure. And this is where Business Central, Microsoft Business Central as a financial system or accounting system or an environment stands head and shoulders above all the competition. Everybody else is using third parties to host their solutions. Sage Intacct is running on AWS. NetSuite is running on AWS. Zero, I think, is also running on AWS. SAP is also running on Microsoft Azure. So if you go with, for example, SAP Business One and SysPro, they both host on Microsoft Azure as well. The difference here is now you've got a solution that sits on top of itself, managed by Microsoft. So it's Microsoft Business Central, managed by Microsoft Azure as infrastructure, that gives us direct access to security. So we don't have to worry about third parties hosting our data, having access to our data, and logins and disaster recovery is a big thing. We had an outage last month, and Microsoft guarantees uptime of 99.9%. They handle data disaster recovery and business continuity automatically, and it's per country. So even in South Africa, there's multiple physical servers that we can run over. And they, again, handle everything down to the SQL Server database. And they give us access via Azure Active Directory, which they now call Entra, from the front end, work back down to the SQL Server database. So if we wanted to, you have a direct access to the data itself. We have it. We can create backups. We can restore the data. We can actually do when we do our own data disaster recovery. So let's say something went wrong, you updated a batch in your system and it's a disaster. It should never have been updated, it should never have even been existed. What can happen is in Business Central, you can actually restore to any moment in time for the last 60 days. So what that means is you can say, okay, well, I want to restore backup to 3 minutes ago, just before I pressed update on this batch. And nobody will ever be the wiser. You do that in the system, and you don't even need to speak to support for that. You just do it. So again, in this modern workplace, my Business Central allows us to have, we don't even need to know that we have access to the backend. But if we wanted to, it's there. It's all managed by Microsoft. They make sure everything works. You don't have to schedule backups. You don't have to set up disaster recovery. It's all there in the box. But if you wanted to go and do your own or optimize it, it's also there. You can just go and manage it. So it fits very small businesses that don't have IT departments and IT policies, and fits very large businesses with thousands of users and very strong IT governance and IT audits, as well as financial audits. And it's not even to talk about the SharePoint integrations where we do actual file, so we can link documents to transactions, store that in SharePoint, and have version management not only on transactions in Business Central. So, for example, quotes and orders and sign-offs, workflow sign-offs and approvals, with attachments next to that, whether it's electronic or physical attachments, and then store that in SharePoint and have version management of those. Then from a bit of metrics again, we have from our customers to receive 172% ROI over 3 years from customers that go from other systems to Business Central. They save massive amounts because, again, you don't have to buy modules. We talk about third-party reporting, having to buy reporting platforms. It's all included in Business Central. Power Apps has got something called Power BI, so you can actually go as far as business intelligence reporting, all within the box. And then obviously productivity. I mentioned this case where we managed to save one user 25% of their time per month. That's now spent productively rather than updating vendor prices from Excel spreadsheets. Okay, so yes, we talk about adapt faster, work smarter, perform better. I want to quickly show you. Okay, obviously we spoke about taking the business on go, and this is what the phone app and the tablet app looks like. As you can see, same look and feel as the system. You've got full access, and this is also customizable. So yes, it's a simplified view, but your user, when they open the Business Central app, or they go to on the Business Central website, or it's going to be a very similar look and feel. They're not going to feel that they need training specifically per app. Then obviously we speak about that last mile and talk about what specific apps are out there. And literally you can just go out and Google. If you want to go Google Business Central Logistic Management app or Business Central, you name it, some specific industry specific app that you would have, you're going to find an app online that does it. We can help you curate those apps. Again, there's a massive app store, about 4,000 apps at the moment. That's just for Business Central. It's not like these apps are like standalone things that also integrate to Business Central. Microsoft requires that to be natively built for the application, running in the application's language, which is actually called application language AL. Um, so you're guaranteed of a good experience if you go with those. Okay, so then onboarding on the system is something we help you with. And again, for we've built a product called MBC Go that we onboard you within basically 2 weeks. So you go from legacy system that you're on to running in Business Central um, within 2 weeks. And we've capped that price to 40,000 Rand. So you can imagine if you've got one or two users, small operations that can't afford big custom systems and big cloud migration projects, then that's like tailor built. And you can literally go live within 2 weeks, 40,000 Rand guaranteed to run a custom project that does, that integrates with your business strategies over a year. Okay, so I want to quickly skip ahead here to the AI side of things. I'm going to show you a couple of videos. And this also talks to not only the modern workplace and how you learn the system and how you can use the system to make your life easier, but also, um, you know, is my data safe? Because now you've got this co-pilot reading your data and working your data, and just to put your mind to ease, this is what happened. This is done seamlessly and contained within your environment, so nobody has access to your data outside of your environment. Just quickly want to launch this video. This is hang on, I want to launch. Hmm. Okay, we're getting there. I might have to just change a setting. Okay, hang on. Sorry, just a bit of a technical glitch here. Bear with me. Let's start this video and then Apologies. I just told that you. I was just told you can't hear the audio, which is a bit silly. Let me quickly go see what is the issue here. Hmm. Yeah, simple button.
Product description that is engaging and informative also improves conversion rates.
Okay,
So stop typing.
let's
You're used to asking questions to uncover the
start here.
insights you need and solving problems by chatting with coworkers, customers, or vendors. Now, Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central offers you a new way to continue the conversation. Copilot is your everyday AI companion for work, built on Microsoft's industry-leading privacy and security. It's here to help you find the answers to your questions quickly and easily. For the first time, Business Central users are empowered to interact with their data using their own words. Use Copilot to skip traditional menu navigation and locate records faster. Didn't find exactly what you were looking for? You can ask follow-up questions to clarify and refine your search. Copilot acts as a virtual assistant, helping you track down the right information at the right time, all using natural language. Even complex searches become easy. Get answers to questions on how, when, or why to do things. So new users can get up to speed quickly, and longtime employees can learn new skills. Copilot gives your employees an edge by leading them to the next step, so processes are easier to learn and problems are easier to solve. With every day bringing something new, Copilot helps you reclaim time so you can work smarter, adapt faster, and perform better. Be ready for what's next with Dynamics 365 Business Central.
There you go. So that's really what I wanted to end on today, to give you an idea of what the modern workplace looks like, and you can see how we not only we not only use AI for solving random questions in life, but it's now become built into the system within context of the system. And Business Central is integrated Copilot into Business Central, but also Teams and Outlook and everything else. So you can ask questions outside of it. And for example, the question there about drop shipments leads you to learning as well. So if you want to know, oh, how do I do something in Business Central? It's obviously got the context of Business Central, tells you, okay, you can do that via this feature. And you can say, okay, well, how does this feature work? And it takes you to learning. And there are, the learning platform in Business Central is also unmatched. There's no paywall between you as the customer and learning, and that kind of closes the loop on what we want these days from system is not just accessible everywhere. It has to be easily used, integrated to everything. So integrated to Outlook, for example. If I'm in my email and I've got an email from a customer, let me see that this is a customer within Business Central. What is the balance of this account? Can I create a purchase invoice directly from my invoice from my Outlook? This is Outlook that's now integrated, and the same thing with Excel. Can I edit pages and journals in Excel? Anything in custom update prices in Excel? Teams, can I interact while interacting with my warehouse user, ask him about an item? um, you can imagine how this just makes your entire operation more streamlined. One integrated platform that's got access to not only debits and credits but operational meaning within the greater context of your business, whether that's Outlook or Excel or so that includes CRM and workflow. Can I do approvals? Maybe I want to approve a quote first, so I can just approve that via Outlook, um, or even Power Automate. Um, Again, I don't need to log out, log in. The system knows who I am. It knows I've got access to Business Central. It knows what user roles I have in Business Central, which customers I can't see, which vendors I can't see, so that your workplace just becomes one system, one place, one ecosystem, I should say. And there's more metrics and some case studies. Like I said, there's 4,000 businesses running the system already. We've been really successful within South Africa with Business Central. It's tailored to the South African market by Microsoft, and we have obviously picked up our expertise and built a team to implement and help you become successful at the system. And it's really a system that we build long-term relationships with as a solution provider. If there's anything I said today that you think sounds too good to be true, I challenge you, go Google. There's, like I said, there's no paywall between you and information about the system. You can go and find out online for yourself. You can reach out to us. Like I said, me and Alicia are here to help you. We can do specific demonstrations and specific things to help you explore this product and how it can help your business. That is half an hour. Thank you very much for your time. We are going to have these tea break sessions. My coffee is just finished. Perfect timing. So we can, I'll see you again next week. We can talk a bit more about inventory specific things and workflow. Thanks for that, Vaughan. Sorry about that couple of technical glitches. Obviously, now I know to go click that button next time first and make sure it's ticked so that I share my audio. And then I'll see you next week. If there's anything else, please reach out to us. We are happy to help.